Parsons Green, underground blast a terror incident, say police. An improvised explosive device was detonated on a tube train in southwest London during Friday's morning rush hour, Scotland Yard has confirmed. The blast on Parsons Green station on a district line string from Wimbledon is being treated as terrorism. 29 people have been treated in hospitals, mostly for burns, though at least 8 have now been discharged. A hunt for the person who placed the device is underway and the area around the station has been evacuated. Cowardly attack. Specialist officers have been securing the remains of the improvised device and inserting in its tables. Prime Minister Theresa May condemned the cold-way attack, which she said had intended to cause significant harm. She says the UK's terror threat level would remain as serious, the second highest, but would be under review. Speaking in Downing Street after chairing a meeting of the Cobra Emergency Committee, she said there would be an increased armed police presence on the transport network in London. Hundreds of detectives and MI5 are investigating the attack, which took place at 8:20 BST on an eastbound train. Assistant Commissioner Mark Rowley earlier refused to say whether anyone had been arrested. Pictures taken of the train show a white bucket on fire inside a supermarket bag, with wires trailing onto the carriage floor. The BBC understands the device had a timer. BBC security correspondent Frank Gaddard said the bomb appeared not to have gone off. Had it worked as intended, it would have killed everyone around it and maimed everyone in the train carriage for life, he said. U.S. President Donald Trump has spoken to Prime Minister Theresa May to convey his sympathies for those injured in the terrorist attack, the White House has said. President Donald Trump pledged to continue close collaboration with the UK to stop attacks and combat extremism, the statement added. A Downing Street spokesman said President Trump called the Prime Minister earlier today to offer his condolences over this morning's cowardly attack in London. U.S. President Donald Trump had earlier tweeted that he is sick and demented. People behind the attack had been in the sight of the Metropolitan Police, prompting Mrs. May to say it was not helpful to speculate on an ongoing investigation. Chelsea and Westminster Hospital has been treating 14 people, with a small number of them being taken to a specialist burns unit. 4 people are being treated by Imperial College Healthcare and 3 at St George's Hospital. St Thomas Hospital in London said it had treated 8 patients, but they had not been discharged. Mr. Rowley asked the public to remain vigilant, but said they should be alarmed. He said anyone who took pictures or videos at the scenes could upload them to the website address ukpoliceimageappeal.co.uk. London Mayor Sadiq Khan appealed for calm, saying the city would never be intimidated or defeated by terrorism. Witnesses speak of panic. Witnesses to the incident have described seeing at least one passenger with facial injuries, while others spoke of panic as a lone passenger left the train at the station, which is above ground. Anna Goniak, who was in the same tube carriage as the explosion, said, "I could see a fibre filling the carriage and coming our way. At that moment, I started to run. In my mind, I was praying. I probably thought for a second, that's it, my life is over. Passenger Peter Colley was sitting in the carriage, traveling from Wimbledon once the explosion happened. He said his head was burned by a really hot, intense fiber above my head, and added, there were people a lot worse than me. Chris Whites told BBC Radio 5 Light he saw a bucket in the supermarket back with low-level flames coming out of it by the door of the red carriage. Analyst by Dominic Costini, BBC Home Affairs correspondent. This is the fifth terrorism incident of 2017 in which an attack has taken place. It's the only one this year in which nobody has died. The previous four saw 36 people killed. Police believe they have stopped 6 other significant plots, all of which will soon be coming before the courts. Put plainly, this is the most sustained period of terrorist activity in England since the IRA bombing campaign of the early 1970s. What happened now? The Metropolitan Police Counter Terrorism Command needs to get to the bottom of 3 key questions. 1. Who did it? 2. Are there any more devices out there? 3. Who else, if anyone, is involved? Experts from the government Secret Explosives Research Laboratory will be looking at the evidence from the train and seeing whether it matches anything else they have been before. Emma Steve, 27, who was on the train when the explosion happened, said she was caught in a human stampede and crashed on the station steps as people rushed away from the train. I wedged myself in next to a railing. I put myself in the fetal position, she said. There was a pregnant woman underneath me. I was trying really hard not to crush her. I saw a poor little boy with a smashed-in head and other injured. It was horrible. By Jennifer Scott, BBC News. London has again fallen victim to a terror attack, targeting commuters on their way to work and visitors venturing out into the city. With 22 people treated in hospital, this plotting part of June, 2 were left confused and shocked, waiting anxiously for an explanation. Alani Shakumai was riding the tube on the way to a training course with his headphones plugged in and listening to music, just as he would on any other journey. After the train pulled into Parsons Green station, however, things became far from ordinary. I looked to my left and I saw lots of people running out. There were a lot of people just stamping on each other and I saw someone jumping over. There was a woman on the floor and she couldn't breathe. I thought, this has got to be serious for people to do that.